Creepy mystery of Elisa Lam. In 2013, a young tourist vanished inside a Los Angeles hotel. Her name was Elisa Lam. Days later, police released creepy elevator footage showing Elisa acting strangely, pressing random buttons, hiding in corners, and talking to someone no one could see. The video went viral across the internet. Then came the horrifying discovery. Hotel guests complained the water tasted strange. When workers checked the rooftop water tank, they found Elisa's body inside. The case shocked the entire world. Police ruled her death an accident, but many people still believe there's more to the story. Who or what was Elisa Lam reacting to in that elevator? Even today, the mystery still terrifies the internet.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Scary Parre podcast. I am so happy to see you. Can't hear me? I think it's on your end because my mic thing is showing. If you're in the comments, can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so sorry about that. My apologies, guys. Welcome back to the Scary Parre podcast. I'm so happy to have you guys as a part of the guests and a part of our guests. I hope you enjoy this episode. The last few episodes, we have been talking about cults, serial killers, but I've been a little lonely these past few episodes. So I'm so happy to have my co-host back, aka Mila B, is in the building. Mila.
Hey y'all.
How has your time off been?
It's been okay.
It's been okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Well, while you were enjoying your time off, hang on, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for being back. Yay. Can you hear it? Yay.
Heard it.
So happy to have you back. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump right on in, okay? So the following episode discusses real life death, disturbing theories, mental health topics, and graphic details that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. So viewer discretion is advised. Imagine checking into a hotel. Imagine checking into a hotel alone, planning to explore a city, take photos, and enjoy life, only to disappear without a trace. Then, weeks later, the internet watches surveillance footage of your final known moments over and over again, trying to understand what terrified you. Well, tonight we're diving deep into one of the most unsettling mysteries of the modern internet era, the death of Elisa Lam. So I had a picture, and I don't know if you guys watched the before. The picture didn't save, but here's the picture. Here she is. See her? Can you see her pretty good, Mike? Okay. So Elisa Lam was born in Vancouver, Canada in 1991. Friends described her as intelligent, creative, kind, deeply emotional, very active online, right? So she was deeply emotional. She was very active online. She was kind. It seemed like she was in touch with her feelings. She loved photography, fashion, writing, documenting her life online. Alicia openly discussed her struggles with mental health on Tumblr, including depression and bipolar disorder. But despite those struggles, she was adventurous and independent. In early 2013, she began a solo trip through California. So, first question, have you ever thought about doing a solo trip before? Okay. For your solo trip, your very first solo trip, where would you go?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. Okay. So your first solo trip will be out of state somewhere, right? Okay. Hassan in the comments on the YouTube side. Remember, guys, definitely tap in on the YouTube side if you want your comments read. Hassan says he loves solo trips, and he also said, hey. So, hey, Hassan. But he loves solo trips. Now, for my first solo trip, I don't know if I'm ready to go out of state just yet. I think my first solo trip would have to be like a city to city thing, and then I'll graduate to out of state.
I mean, ultimately, you already did a solo trip.
What you mean?
You travel state to state.
I'll go to work.
No, I'm saying. Okay, well, still, state to state.
States is okay. I see what you're saying. So the trips that I make back and forth in and out the city,
I mean, that's city to city because you're still in the same state.
right? So that's what I'm saying. As far as like, so first vacation solo trip, I think for me, I would do something in city first, and then gradually go out of state somewhere by myself. I'm a little terrified. Okay, respect. Alicia. Okay, we already said that. Um, in early 2013, she began solo tripping, and she started with California. At first, everything seemed normal. She visited San Diego, Santa Cruz, Los Angeles, and she posted photos. She talked with family daily. She shared updates online. Then she checked into Cecil Hotel, and that's when everything changed. Dun dun dun. Ah! Ah! That's when everything changed. So the Cecil Hotel has a dark history. Mila, have you ever heard of the Cecil Hotel?
Mm-mm.
Neither have I. Let's dive into it. So the Cecil Hotel has a dark history. It already had a horrifying reputation even before Alicia traveled or arrived there. It's located near Skid Row in Los Angeles. So Skid Row is in if I'm and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe Skid Row is some type of prison or something, some type of Death Valley. I don't know, but it sounds like a place I don't want to go. Okay. Okay. Skid Row in Los Angeles. The hotel has been connected to overdoses, suicides, violent crimes, and mysterious deaths. Skid Row is not a prison. I just learned that on TikTok. Thanks. Some serial killers had even stayed there temporarily. The hotel became known online as one of America's most haunted locations. People claim they heard whispers in the hallways, doors slamming randomly, and shadow figures appearing at night. Now, whether you believe in paranormal activity or not, the hotel already carried heavy energy. Oh, so apparently Skid Row is a place where a lot of homeless people camp in LA. Shout out to the TikTok commenters because they are fact checking us today. Thanks for that. But Alicia was staying there alone. So now that you know where the Cecil Hotel is and what it's on, it being on Skid Row and things like that, would you have stayed at the Cecil Hotel?
Mm-mm. I only stay at Hilton anyways.
You said you got to stay at Hilton.
I only stay at Hilton.
Okay, you only stay at Hilton. Only stay at Hilton in Hampton. Shout out to okay. But hear me out. If this was your only hotel option,
Sleep in the
would
car.
you still have stayed?
Sleep in the car.
Hmm. Sleep in the car? Okay, sleep in the car. I like that. So before Alicia vanished, right? So she's already staying in this sketchy hotel. Okay. Before she vanished, she already kind of started showing strange behavior. At first, Alicia shared a room with other travelers. I feel like that is a big no when you're self traveling. I feel like that is a major no when you're self traveling. But according to reports, her roommates complained about her behavior. Some allegedly described her as acting erratically, leaving strange notes, and seeming paranoid. Eventually, she was moved into a private room. Okay, so At the beginning of this, we categorized her as, or not even categorized, we described her character as someone who has bipolar disorder and who lives online and has some sort of mental illness. So by her acting erratic and seeming paranoid, to me, that's all common traits of maybe she got off of her medication.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, knowing people that are like that already, and knowing when they get off of medication and act like that, then yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So on January 31st, 2013, Elisa disappeared. She disappeared. No goodbye, no warning, no confirmed sightings afterwards. Her parents became worried, almost immediately terrified. Okay? Her parents became worried. They were almost, sorry. Her parents became worried, almost immediately terrified, because Elisa called home every single day. One thing she was going to do was she was going to pick up that phone and she was going to be like ET and phone home. She was going to be like, hello, guys, I'm okay, right? Because that's what you do on a solo trip. Essentially,
No,
you call home. That is what you do on a solo trip. Well,
no,
on my solo trip, so on a solo trip, you don't phone somebody from your home and let them know you're okay?
I'm not gonna call nobody when I go on my first solo trip. I'm gonna tell you I made it to the state that I'm in, but after that, you're not gonna hear from me until I come back home.
Okay, so that's when, okay, that's a bit scary. Scary, Perry. No pun intended. But
No, because
that's a bit
like
scary.
it's just like you leave the state to not deal with motherfuckers. You go by yourself not to deal with people.
Exactly. And I understand that. However, you can check in at least once a day when you're out on that trip. You see what I'm saying? So, and you're going and knowing you're going to check in with somebody. It may not be everybody that you're cool with or kicking it with,
I
but
mean, yeah,
somebody
like
personally is.
when I touch down and wherever I'm going, yeah, they're gonna get I touched down in such and such state.
Okay, that's a check-in. Day
That's it.
number one. Okay, so day number one, you arrived, you check in. Day number two, when you're going out on your excursions, I bet you're gonna be texting somebody. You're gonna be making communication with somebody. You can't sit here and tell me that throughout that whole entire trip, you're not going to communicate with at least one person back home.
I've done it before.
All right, respect, respect.
And this phone stay on
I'll
DMV. I do it often. It's not
okay.
this phone don't mean a lot to me no more. So it's just like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't really care to leave it, you know?
Gotcha. I understand. Well, for me, because I'm scary Perry and I'm scared as hell of everything, when I go to another state on a solo trip, I'm going to be checking in, whether it be with my mom, my dad, my bonus mom, my stepdad, my papa, even. Somebody is getting a call of, hey, I'm doing okay. By the way, I'm getting ready to check out the Walmart out here because I love Walmart, you know?
Hmm.
Okay. So when the call suddenly stopped, they knew something was wrong. That would be alerting too. So the search begins. So when Alicia stopped calling home to her home or whatever and stopped speaking to her parents, they alerted the authorities in California where she was at. The police searched the hotel, nearby streets, surrounding can't get the word out. Surrounding businesses and nothing. Nobody, no clear evidence, no suspect. Then, nearly 3 weeks later, right?
Hmm.
How many weeks later? 3. The LAPD released surveillance footage from inside one of the hotel elevators. and the internet became obsessed, right? So I'm going to play the little intro here that I played at the beginning, because this kind of, if you watch it, has a little bit snippet of that elevator scene. So I'm getting ready to play that for us, and we're going to ready put ourselves on mute.
The creepy mystery of Elisa Lam. In 2013, a young tourist vanished inside a Los Angeles hotel. Her name was Elisa Lam. Days later, police released creepy elevator footage showing Elisa acting strangely, pressing random buttons, hiding in corners, and talking to someone no one could see. The video went viral across the internet. Then came the horrifying discovery. Hotel guests complained the water tasted strange. When workers checked the rooftop water tank, they found Elisa's body inside. The case shocked the entire world. Police ruled her death an accident, but many people still believe there's more to the story. Who or what was Elisa Lam reacting?
Okay, so the elevator footage is less than 4 minutes long, right? But people still debate today. In the video, Alicia is repeatedly pressing elevator buttons. She steps in and out nervously. She hides against the wall, peeks around the corners, gestures strangely in her hands. At one point, she even appears terrified of something outside the elevator. But nobody appears on camera. Now, from experiences, or from what I've known, or from what I've read as far as psychology studies, sometimes when you are in a manic episode with your bipolar, that can cause you to see things that aren't there. So I'm almost wondering if she was in a manic state when she hopped on that elevator and was just trying to figure out, okay, what floor do I get on? What, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then something else also disturbed viewers as well. The elevator doors stayed open for an unusually long time. Hear me out. I've been in some elevators or of some hotels where the doors take forever and a day to close. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, I pressed the close button.
Okay, so you press the close button. Even I've been in situations where even when I press the close button, the door still was like,
What?
like even when I press the close button, sorry, I'm trying to get my camera situated. Even when I press the close button on the elevator, right? Close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door. The door still didn't close, right?
That ain't never happened to me.
So, huh?
That ain't never happened to me.
Oh, that happened to me, and I was just kind of like, all right, now, what we doing? Oh, what we doing? You gonna close the door or not? What we doing? So many online theories exploded. They started to say, was someone standing outside the camera angle? Was she hiding from someone? Was she hallucinating? Was the footage edited? Paranormal entity? Millions of people watch this footage repeatedly, trying to solve this mystery. Even today, people like me say that the video makes them physically uncomfortable. When I saw the video, because I researched it, but of course I want to respect the family. I didn't want to put that video back on there. When I saw the video, the first thing that I kept saying is something's wrong. Like, why isn't she, like, is somebody coming on? Is somebody coming off? What? My first thought was the door is not shutting. That wasn't my first thought. My first thought is what's wrong with her? Because she was literally like erratically, if you could see that video, pressing the buttons. And it's almost as if she was pressing every button. So I'm wondering if that door didn't shut, because she was pressing so many buttons and the elevator was trying to catch up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go to our next part. And before we go to the next part of this, actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and go to the next part. Weeks after Elisa vanished, hotel guests began complaining. The water tasted strange. The water pressure was weak. The water looked dark. A maintenance worker went to inspect the rooftop water tanks. And inside one of them, they found Elisa's naked body floating in the water. All right. All right. Put your imagination cap on. Let's focus. All right. Listen. Here we go. You ready? You ready? Imagine being a guest at the hotel, right? You a guest at the Cecil Hotel. It's already sketchy. It's already on Skid Row, and the water is now turning dark. It's a dark color. It tastes strange. First of all, why are you drinking the hotel water? But it tastes strange.
What you mean?
Water pressure weak. Huh?
What you mean? Why are you drinking hotel water?
I don't drink the hotel water. I drink the bottled water, but I don't drink the hotel water at the faucet.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't drink because every city. So, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never drunk hotel water before out the faucet, because I have. But what I can tell you is I stopped after the Flint, Michigan crisis thing with
Mm-hmm.
their water. So now whenever I go out of town or to another state or to another city, I prefer bottled water, because you don't know what's in these cities' water. It could be lead, it could be human remains, clearly. Like, you don't know what's in their water. So
I mean, you don't know what's in Chinese food.
we don't.
It could be human remains.
That's why I started making my own. How about that?
I only live once, so
I only live once.
call me
So
Hannibal Hector, whatever the fuck that name is.
Hannibal Lecter is crazy work, but I'm here for it. For you. For you. But no, all jokes aside, Chinese food is so good. Thanks for all my Chinese followers. Love ya.
I'm weak.
Okay. Imagine being a guest at that whole hotel, brushing your teeth, taking showers, and drinking that water without knowing the discovery horrified the public. So without knowing all of this, you're just, you wake up, you taking a shower in the hotel. Wash my body, turn on the shower, in, out. Okay, you washing your body. Then you taking the toothbrush. You're brushing your teeth. All right. All right. Now for those that drink the water, and you drinking the water because you're trying to hydrate. You trying to hit your water goals. Right? Right. All to find out that the person who was missing in the hotel is in there dead in the water tank.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. Almost immediately, people began questioning the official story because investigators said the rooftop access was alarmed, doors were supposedly locked, the tanks were difficult to enter. So, how did Elisa get there? If the rooftop access was alarmed, so meaning it was one of those doors where you pushed it to go out of, it would go, wait, hang on, I got a noise. It would do that, right? Okay, well, not that long, but it would do that until somebody deactivated the alarm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if the doors were supposedly locked, how is she even getting to that point? And then the tanks were difficult to enter, not to mention she is naked and she's, they found her dead. Some reports also claim the tank lid was closed. There was no signs of major physical assault and no clear evidence of homicide. So the internet investigators, shout out to the TikTokers and the Instagrammers and the internet the internet, Beyonce's internet, shout out to y'all, because y'all began tearing this case apart, which is what needed to happen. People pointed out inconsistencies of the timeline, missing details, confusing witness reports, then conspiracies, conspiracy theories exploded online. Here are some of the internet theories. Mila, before we get into these internet theories, do you have any theories of your own about what possibly could have happened?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So the internet theories, some theories suggested Elisa was murdered by hotel staff. Is that a theory I could get behind? Probably not. Then another theory is someone chased her into hiding. So in the elevator, she already looked kind of spooked, already looked like somebody was chasing her, this, that, and the third. So that could have been it. My theory is more so leaning to she experienced a psychotic break. However, that theory doesn't coincide because, again, how did she get up there? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then another theory, because they already said that the hotel was haunted, did paranormal entities influence her? Meaning, was she possessed? Did she catch a bad spirit and the bad spirit told her, hey, break down the door, open up the tank, jump in naked and kill yourself?
I can't subscribe to that.
I can't fully subscribe to that one either. And I think the reason why I can't fully subscribe to that one either is simply because the tanks were heavy to open. She was such a small girl. So it was going to take something or somebody with some manpower to lift that tank up for her to get in there.
But even then, how tall was the tank?
The tank was pretty tall. It was a water tank. Here, let me I think if you want I could play the video again.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
Somebody had to pick her up and put her in the water tank.
And that's my whole thing. Somebody had to pick her up, right? Had to pick her up.
I mean,
Somebody in the back say had to pick her up. My bad.
It's just like the Kanika Jenkins case.
Yes,
Somebody
and it is because they were still trying to figure out
same thing. Hotel
same thing, just
cameras.
yes. Hotel cameras, the camera sees her. And the only difference is that with Elisa, the camera isn't catching her going to the water tanks, right? The camera isn't catching her going into the water tanks. Now, with the Kanika Jenkins case, the camera saw her going into the freezer.
But that's the thing. She was stumbling.
She was stumbling because she was drunk.
But it's not even that. I know this because I got ties to hotels. But they tell you, like, when you see boxes in the hotel cameras,
Mm-hmm.
that's people.
Yes.
And there was like 2-3 boxes with Kanika Jenkins when she was walking.
Yes. Now, that one, I want us to talk about that. I was going to tell you we were doing that one next week after this one.
Oh, okay.
So, if you would like to spearhead that one, that's all you. We can talk about that after. Okay. One especially disturbing theory connected her case to a tuberculosis outbreak because of similarities between her name and the medical test called Lim Elisia. That theory was later debunked, but it showed just how deep the internet rabbit hole became. So, before we get into the mental health discussion of all this, aka the scary therapy, which I have some things that we're going to break down. before we get into that part, we have some advertisements. Hang on, let me get my banner. Advertisements, yay! So for those of you guys who are new to the Scary Perry podcast page, and for my TikTokers who are new to the Scary Perry podcast page, you can find us on YouTube at Scary Perry and Perry Podcast on YouTube. You can see all the graphics and everything like that. Advertisements is a part of the show where I give advertisements to local businesses and local events that are happening in the Kansas City, Missouri area and some surrounding areas as well. So let's tap into it. Our first advertisement, let's get into our sponsors. Shout out to Knucklehead Clothing. Oh, hang on. Let me take this off. Knucklehead Clothing. You can get your Knucklehead Clothing at www.knuckleheadclothing.com and stay driven. He has hoodies, hats, t-shirts, sweatpants, and short sets coming out this season. So make sure you tap into Knucklehead Clothing. Again, that is www.knoolheadclothing.com. Our next sponsor is D'Angelo Hair Care, aka D'Angelo Hairstylist, aka Cuts by D'Lo. You can scan that QR code to book your appointment, or you can use the link below, DLoWesleyKC.square.site, to book your hair care appointment. He does colors, he does coloring, retwists, haircuts, kids cuts, and I hear he's got a Father's Day special coming up soon that he's announcing. So be on the lookout for that. And this is Cuts by D'Lo. Get It Off Your Chest presents Get Out in the Field. Let's kick the summer off right. Father's Day adult kickball game. That date is Sunday, June 21st, 3 p.m. at Tower Park. And the drinks and snacks are presented by Treat Me Crazy, because you know why? It drives everybody crazy. It's the treats that drives you crazy. We will have concessions there. It is $5 to play. Spectators are free. Reach out to Terry, host of the show, or CJ, Mr. Get It Off Your Chest himself. You can also reach out to me and I will direct you to them. But before we go out and play kickball, June 20th, we have the 5th annual Paint My Body hosted by Miss Rashida Jaree. You can scan that QR code to buy your tickets and bring the tip money, because they will have the baddest of the baddies in the building ready to be painted on and to have a good time. So come on out, enjoy that. That is the Father's Day edition of Paint My Body. It is happening June 20th, Father's Day edition. Perry T Management is accepting new clients for podcast management, artist management, brand ambassadoring, virtual personal assisting, and more. You can DM me directly to book your consultation, and I'm super excited to have you on as a client. Speaking of clients, Milani Yvette is open to bookings. She is a brand ambassador, a social media influencer, an event host, and podcaster. To book Milani Yvette to represent your brand, you can reach out to bookingbrands@gmail.com, or you can reach out to myself on Instagram at PerryTManagement_. And then lastly, do you need somebody that's going to turn your event up? Do you need somebody that's going to bring the charisma, the style, the grace, the class, but still make it a little ratchet and hood? You need to book Nay. Big Nay. She is a brand ambassador and an event host. You can book her to elevate your next event and to make it unforgettable. How do you book Big Nay? You reach out to me and we will get her booked for your next event. You can reach me at PerryTManagement_ on Instagram, or at Perry Thompson on Facebook, or you can book her as well with the email bookingbrands@gmail.com. And that is all for the let me make sure. Yep, and that is all for the advertisements that I had. Yay! Advertisements. We love advertisements. Okay, cool. Alrighty, now we're getting ready to get into the part of the show where it's kind of become my favorite part of the show. We are getting into the scary therapy part. So this is the part where we combine mental health with the true crime. We dive into it as to maybe why, mentally, what's going on. So, Mila, before I jump into what I have, do you have anything that you probably would have thought of during this episode or during anything that was said for scary therapy?
Mm-mm.
Hmm?
No.
Nope. Okay. So, scary therapy. Let's do this. So, eventually, the toxicology report showed Elisa had inconsistent levels of her prescribed bipolar medication in her system. Investigators believe that she may have been experiencing paranoia, hallucinations, manic symptoms. The official ruling of her death was that it was an accidental drowning, and authorities believe that Alicia possibly entered the water tank herself during her mental health crisis. Hey, Diedrich. But even with that explanation, many people still feel unsettled because emotionally the footage feels terrifying. And sometimes people struggle to separate mystery from fear. So, this goes along with the theory that I had, where she was experiencing, I feel like, a manic episode. And I mean, this episode was pretty bad. And her toxicology report shows that she had inconsistent levels with her medication. And one thing with bipolar medication, coming from somebody who has bipolar depression, you have to be taking your medicine consistently. You have to be taking it consistently because the minute you stop, that's when you start to have all those issues or all the issues that she had, where you start having the manic episodes. You're overly emotional, you're overly upset, things trigger you more quickly than others, or you start to hallucinate, or you start to think the worst of situations. You may walk in a room, the room is completely empty, and you visualize the ceiling falling down. Yeah, dead ass. Sometimes people who have bipolar depression or bipolar disorder can see things from a let me make sure I'm correctly saying this because TikTok is gonna eat me up. They can see things differently than how you and I would see things or how you would see things. So when you walk in a room, you just walk in a room and see the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
For somebody who is unmedicated, has a mental disorder, they may walk in a room and when they see the room, they instantly see that in some they see the worst case scenario. In some cases, the ceiling can fall down. There's been times where I walked in my room and I'm like, oh, my TV's gonna come down. You see what I'm saying? Kind of.
Not really.
No. So being unmedicated as somebody with bipolar disorder or even schizophrenia disorder or some type of mental disability that makes you paranoid or have hallucinations, when you stop taking that medication, you can sometimes walk in spaces and take objects of that spaces and make a hallucination out of them because
Mm-hmm.
you're unmedicated. You get what
Okay.
I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I have some questions for the audience. So TikTok, feel free to join in on these questions and YouTube as well. I have some questions for you guys as well. Facebook too. Why do you think the elevator footage affected people so deeply? If anybody wants to answer that, you can. Mila, if you want to answer it, you can as well. And then, but Mila, this question is for sure for you. Do you believe Alicia was alone during
Mm-mm.
any of
No,
it? Okay. Why is that?
because um, just like I told you earlier, like knowing, yeah, she don't show up on that camera, like on the hotel footage or whatever. But it's just like if she don't show up on a hotel camera, then how she get to where she was going?
And that's my whole thing too. So I definitely don't believe that she was alone, because you mean to tell me out of all places that she winds up is at the top of the hotel in the water tank, and
Exactly.
that place was supposed to be secured, right? You had, if you went through the door, you sounded off an alarm. So I definitely don't think she was alone. Not only do I not think she was alone, I think I man, listen, I think somebody in that hotel has something to do with this. And I'm gonna say somebody of a manager's standpoint had something to do with it. The managers are the only ones that have the key to pop that alarm off, and also maybe maintenance, right? So
I
between
mean,
maintenance and the managers to pop that alarm off. So let's take it deep. Maybe she was experiencing an episode and she was hallucinating and having a manic episode, right? Maybe she was lashing out on staff. Maybe she was acting erratic. During her acting erratic, I don't know, maybe they hit her too hard. That still don't explain why she's naked though.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know why she's naked.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know why she's naked though. People can
Okay.
pick two.
What are your theories around that?
She got raped.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. That can definitely be a thing. Maybe she was trying to escape that.
Hmm.
And where she was running to, or maybe she was running somewhere, they knocked her out and they over shoulder carried her. And maybe the reason why there's not any footage of that is because, like I said, it was probably somebody that worked at the hotel.
Uh-huh.
It had to be either a, oh, what about security? Security would have had the key to that door too. They
I
also
mean,
would have had the ability to wipe out any footage.
most people that most employees know the code to turn their alarm off. It doesn't matter what
Mm.
you.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking of it as like an old school door where you got to put the key in to pop the alarm off, because it was one
I
of
mean,
those,
if
you
you
know,
gotta do
the
that, then yeah. But if it's just a code that you punch in, then no.
hmm. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, I can definitely see that that being a theory of her possibly being raped or whatever, and um, she was trying to get out of there, and the person who did it, in order to stop her from telling, killed her and decided that they were going to dispose of the body. I don't think they thought, okay, if I put the body in the water tank, it's going to contaminate the water. I don't think they thought that far. In their mind, they probably thought, if I put the body in the water tank, I'm clear of this, because after a while, water breaks down anything on the body, like it
Hmm.
breaks down.
I
So I
mean,
think they maybe
but
thought,
it don't break down fully. Like,
mhm,
yeah, it breaks down skin, but like
mhm.
it doesn't break down bones.
It doesn't break down bones, but technically his fingerprints are on her skin. They're not on her bones.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't negate the fact that they can figure out who she is just by bones.
Yeah, and they were able to figure out who she was because she still looked recognizable. But the problem is they couldn't figure out how she got up there, who killed her, what happened. They couldn't figure that out because days had passed and her body was decomposing in that water, which was getting in the hotel system of the showers, the tap water of the hotel system. So they couldn't figure out exactly what happened. The toxicology report, all they knew was that it was an accidental drowning and she put herself in the water tank because she was having a mental health crisis. And they concluded to that because her levels were so inconsistent with her medication.
Hmm.
So that's crazy. So let's go ahead and Mila, before we wrap this up, do you have anything that you would like to say regarding this or just anything in general? Do you have any announcements or anything? Okay. So maybe the scariest part of this story isn't ghost or conspiracies or hidden killers. Maybe it's the fact that sometimes real life mysteries don't give us satisfying answers. And maybe that elevator footage reminds us of how scary the unknown truly is. This has been the Scary Perry podcast. And remember, some mysteries never stop watching us back. So, with that being said, everybody, I want you guys to tune in next week. Not sure exactly what day, but I'm going to let you know. Next week, the Scary Perry podcast will be back. And I already let the cat out of the bag. I usually try to hold it. But we are going to be diving into a well known case that seemed like had social media in a chokehold. We are diving into the Kanika Jenkins case. Now, when we dive into this case, of course, there's been some new information that has come up regarding that case within the last 6 months. So we're going to have to take it all the way back from the first part all the way up into now. So be patient with us. If you guys have any tips, tricks, or some information on that case that you would like for us to dive into while we're doing our show, message me those tips and tricks or message me those suggestions and we'll try to get them on the show for you. Aside from that, my name is Perry T, and I am here along
Your girl Mila B.
with my girl Mila B. And with that, we are out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in and bye.